humanity is so interesting. If we observe what is going on, not politically, but just what is going on with humans, they are all seeking for some relief constantly. They want to have this relief. So there are some people, they like to eat ice cream. It gives them relief. Other people take drugs. There are some people who meditate. There are some people who are doing all kinds of stuff because they want to have this relief. People go to India, to Monte Sahaja. They want to visit Muji. They want to visit all these enlightened people to get some answers. Because they want to be free. But you cannot just say, I want to be free. You have to know what this I is that wants to be free. What is this I? See, people who want to be free, they have an identity. Now they want this identity to be free. But this identity is the prison. It's obvious once you have realized it yourself. See, those identities are identities you don't want to have because someone imposed it onto you. When I was doing something that was bad in the eyes of the other, I was accused of being guilty. But it wasn't just a moment where I felt guilt. I became a guilty man. I walked around as if I'm guilty for years, or as if I had to be ashamed of something. And I would bet my money that almost everyone is feeling this guilt or shame. And we know that that's a low vibration. But it's just a low vibration because you believe in a lie. That's what a low vibration is. It's a lie that is believed in, that you're believing in. In order to get rid of that feeling, guilt, you have to let your ego die. And it's not that big of a deal, actually. It's not mystical at all. It's just you become yourself again. But it may appear to be very mystical to you if you are used to such an ego for years. So I was walking around in this world really thinking that I am guilty, even though there's no one around me right now in this very moment that is accusing me. It was all in my head, was all in my mind. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Because there's no one. If you are suffering, you don't eliminate the suffering, you eliminate the you. Then there's no place for suffering. Who wants to hold the suffering? Who could have this suffering if there's no one? So you get rid of that one, of that ego. You don't have to go to India to be free of your identity. But who wants to be free of the identity? If you could just be very present, it's almost like a muscle you can train in meditation. Just, you can do it right now. Don't listen to my words as if I'm really saying something. Listen to my words as sounds, because that's what they are. And be very present. Listen to everything, every subtle sound that you can perceive. And when you do this, there's a powerful attention. And in this powerful attention, there's no place for a thought. There's no place for low vibrations or guilt. We could say a high vibration is the ability to have a powerful attention. Because when you meditate, your attention has to be high. It's not an effort to be attentive. I'm talking about the attention that is already here right now. The reason why you can watch this video. That's attention. Inattention would be if you would not be able to listen to my words because you are distracted by your personal thoughts. So you're not present, and that's the muscle you kind of have to train to become attentive, to become present. In the present moment, there's no time. When there's no time, ego has to fade away. So your ego, your sense of I, your sense of self is the prison, is the matrix, is samsara. And it's not a big of a deal. So it's not that. Just when you are walking through daily life, you don't have to go to India to realize this. Just become very attentive of the present moment, whatever is going on. Or take your time, 30 minutes, turn on some meditation music and pay your whole attention only to this music, only until you merge with the music and there's no sense of self anymore. It's just, and when you feel like you don't exist anymore, what happens is your ego structure crumbles. And this infinite mind can no longer be in this finite mind. See, because the infinite mind does not incarnate in a body, it can only incarnate in an ego. So when you are born, right when you are born, it hasn't happened yet that the infinite mind is incarnated in this finite mind. It happened when you were around 2 years old. You have to have a sense of self and identity. That's kind of like how you can trap the infinite mind in a finite mind. And it's an intentional trap made by the infinite mind so it can explore itself. So what happens when you are becoming very attentive, present, and you finally let your false self die? You have this very clear understanding, and it's not a conceptual understanding. It's a very clear, obvious experience that whatever you see is the dream of your higher self, and it's just one higher self. Everyone has the same higher self. We're not talking just about my personal higher self. I'm talking about the highest self, which is your self. That means I do not have to believe in reincarnation. What will happen to me when I die? I am already incarnated 8 billion times right now. And not me personally. My real self is incarnated. Not only as all these humans, but animals. And everything we can see is us. And we experience us. So you are not looking at a screen. You're not watching a video. You are looking at yourself. The infinite mind is watching the infinite mind. And it's not a woo-woo thing. I think science is actually finding this out right now, because whenever I'm not looking at something, this part of my room is not observed. And science knows that when something is not observed, the electrons behave in a certain way where the object is just a relativity. It's pure potential and not manifested. I have to look at it. Now it's manifest. But it's not really an object that is manifesting. It's just a part of my highest self, of your highest self. But that's not a knowledge that will bring you to peace. What will give you this peace, what will prevent you from going to India, is awareness. Finding out that you are awareness and not the content that is happening in awareness. So it feels like you kind of have to train this awareness muscle, but it's not really training. You learn to not get distracted. So you say, I'm gonna be aware of this meditation music for 10 minutes, for example. And you pay your whole attention to the sound. And whenever a thought comes, you say, I can think about that later, but right now I'm completely aware of that music. A thought may come up, but I can't suppress my thoughts. That's just an ego. You just later be aware of the present moment. That's liberation. That's how you become free. And I think that's it for today. If you have a question, please leave a comment, like this video, subscribe, and have a great day.